Edward is the King of England. He's also dying, which is inconvenient as he's only 16 and would much rather be planning his first kiss than considering who will inherit his crown. Jane is Edward's cousin and far more interested in books than romance. Unfortunately for Jane, Edward has arranged to marry her off to secure the line of succession. And there's something a little odd about her intended. Gifford, call him G, is a horse. That is, he's an Ethian. Every day at dawn, he becomes a noble chestnut steed. But then he wakes at dusk with a mouthful of hay. It's all very undignified. The plot thickens as Edward, Jane, and G are drawn into a dangerous conspiracy. With the fate of the kingdom at stake, they will have to do a little conspiring of their own. But can they pull off their plan before it's off with their heads? That, my darlings, is the description of My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brodi Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. It is the incredibly loose telling of Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day queen who is the disputed first successor to King Edward VI after he died of a very mysterious illness. She was overthrown by Edward's half-sister, Mary, and eventually beheaded. This book plays very fast and loose with history, but it's a lot of fun. To start off, this book actually reminds me a lot of a book I liked as a child called Once Upon a Marigold, in the fact that it kind of has that same sense of humor where it is so clearly just like winking at the audience, and I love that. I think that's why my sense of humor is personally so corny now as an adult, because that book influenced that, and My Lady Jane is very much like that. Edward is basically just like every other 16-year-old boy who's just like, I want to get out of this, I just want to kiss a girl, and none of them will look at me. But it's also compounded on the fact that he is King of England and he's dying and has no male heirs. So it's all the awkwardness of just this regular 16-year-old kid, but he's the most powerful kid in the country, and he's like, what am I doing with my life? Jane is basically me, you know, really bookish. I'm a lot more romantic-minded than Jane is, but like Jane's a big reader. One of her quirks is that when she gets upset, she'll start finding synonyms to describe like what's happening and why she doesn't like it, and that's really funny. Gifford, G, it took me a while to warm up to him. Because at first he just comes across as like not really caring about anything, and those characters always annoy me. Because if you're gonna write a character, you gotta care about something. So that got on my nerves just a touch, but once he started to really care about Jane, and especially once she became queen, I really started to warm to him, and I realized, okay, so he does care. He doesn't want to care, but he does. The only big problem I had with this book is you find out very early on, they try to play it off as Gifford disappearing at night is that he's kind of a womanizer and kind of a ladies' man, but he's actually a poet. But what they do is they take a lot of lines from Shakespeare and ascribe them to Gifford, and that annoyed me because that's a whole thing about the authorship question for me. And for a quick rundown of those of you who don't know what that is, it's the idea that Shakespeare could not have actually written Shakespeare because he wasn't educated enough. That's a whole rant for another time because that annoys me. That makes me so mad. So that's another rant for another time. And I know that the authors weren't trying to do that, but it was still like, you could have gotten the idea across that Gifford is actually a decent poet without him stealing a lot of Shakespeare. You know, that personally got on my nerves just a little bit. I understand what they were doing, but I could have done without it. All in all, it's actually a really, like, cute, funny book. If you don't mind so much the wink kind of sense of humor, or if you can kind of just get past it, if you can tolerate it, or if you like the kind of twisting of history, you'd really enjoy this. It's a corny romantic comedy with just like a dash of enough stakes thrown in that you actually really care about what's going to happen to these characters. If y'all have any suggestions of other books like this that I can read after I'm done with this project, I'd love to hear from you. And if not, I'd still like to talk to you. And I'll see you later, my darlings. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a nice day. I'll see you later.